Hello everybody, this is Kayak from Into the Outdoors. This video was filmed on September 19th. This is shortly after sunrise. I made a trip through the harbor in Michigan City and kind of poked my head out to see what Lake Michigan looked like. And you can see the lighthouse there in the background. You can see the power plant behind me on the on your right hand side. And the forecast was for 10 knot winds and 1 foot waves, which wasn't going to hit until about 10 a.m. So I'm just kind of setting this up for you. But this is me leaving the pier heads, and I have decided that I'm going to pedal out to the state line because I'd heard that there was some coho out there. Now this clip here, I'm judging I'm about a mile off the shore, and you can see the conditions are still fine. There's a little bit of wind kicking up, but not too bad, and everything is still looking pretty good. And I'm getting ready actually to set my dipsy rod out. I have a downrigger down. I have a 12-ounce torpedo diver down on the right-hand rod for you guys that are watching. I'm getting ready to put out my dipsy diver. So I'm about a mile offshore, so I'm about in 55 foot of water. In this clip here, I'm a couple miles offshore, kind of by the state line, but haven't quite reached it yet. You can see how small the cooling tower and the power plant is in the background. I just gotten off the phone with my wife, and the wind had already started to kick up, and I was making the decision that I am going to turn around and go ahead and head back in, because all the years that I've spent out on Lake Michigan, I know what's coming, and I'm hopefully I can beat this in. But as you'll see in the videos, I end up being in some pretty big waves. So that's what this clip is here. And there is actually a clip coming up next where I actually fight a fish.
Oh yeah, daddy's buck. Yeah, daddy's buck.
So what's going on here? I just took the torpedo diver off, and I'm trying to now catch up with the fish after I've gotten the other rods in, and now I'm kind of facing into the waves, and you can see me messing with my downrigger, and it was just too much, and so I left the downrigger down at this point in time, and I'm just trying to catch up with the fish. And by the time that I catch up with this fish, it's pretty much vertical. It's vertical fish, and you'll see it. And I've already caught up with him. There he comes. And now I'm just going to let him hang out there for a little bit. And I'm getting myself turned around so the waves are pushing me again. That way they're not hitting me broadside. And the waves here are, solid 1-footers. Occasionally 1.5 foot, maybe a 2-foot wave. It's not too bad yet, but I just don't like getting knocked sideways by the waves while I'm trying to deal with a fish. So that's what I'm doing right here. And of course, now remember, I left that downrigger in the water. Now watch. And of course, my net handle was stuck, so I'm struggling to get my net out. I almost am turned, so the waves are pushing me again, and I'm still getting pushed sideways. Okay, so I'm gonna net the fish. I'm gonna net this coho. No, I'm not.
Oh, now you're gonna get caught in the downrigger. Okay. Awesome.
And he is gonna get hung up in the downrigger line. Actually wrapped around his teeth. And now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to kick the electric back on and see if I can get him hooked. And it pretty much looks like the friction of the water or the kayak moving forward again, it just pushes him off of the downrigger line. Which that is not downrigger cable, that is 65-pound power probe. And then there's the coho being brought in. The rig that I was using was an experimental ITO flash rig.
Wow. Interesting. I was on an experimental rig, like the bigger DT. It's just a bigger ITO DT version.
So this is post catching the fall male coho on the DTXL ITO flies. That's what my brother ended up naming it, and you can see that the waves are solid 1 to 2s. It's really not that bad at this point. That I'm actually texting my brother and send him a picture and doing other things that I'm still fishing at this point in time, and it was not too long after this that the conditions really worsened. So as you can see, I've pulled my rods in now because the conditions are worsening very quickly. You can see the white cap starting to form behind me as this clip is going on, and so I'm like, all right, I need to get in, and I kick the motor up to its electric motor all the way up to 5. It's powerful, and I ended up going faster than what the waves were, and the waves were so close together that I had to bring it back down to, like, say, the 4 setting. And at this point in time, I'm becoming a little bit concerned that I am not going to be able to make it back into Michigan City Harbor, because I cannot quarter towards the, like quartering away from the waves, so they can't push me to where I need to go. So I'm having to make some decisions. So some time has passed since the last clip, and I'm actually pretty close to the break wall and the pier heads and stuff. But the problem was that I could not, really get the kayak pointed in the direction I needed to go. So I was actually pointed towards Mount Baldy. And at this point in time, I'm way past the break wall. I'm not very far from the rocks behind NIPSCO by the cooling tower, when I finally decide, okay, I'm gonna turn it to the east and try to get myself turned around so I can point my nose towards the break wall and get in behind the break wall. Maybe it'll help a little bit, break some of these waves up, so it won't be as bumpy as a ride or throwing me around as much. But as you'll see in the next clip, that didn't quite work out that way. But as this clip goes, at the very end of this clip, you're going to be able to see Mount Baldy over my left-hand shoulder as you're watching it. You're going to see it pop up right when the clip is edited, and there it is. There's Mount Baldy. So I've now made the turn to the northeast. All right, so this last clip is it's about just over 7 minutes long, and it's me trying to get back inside the harbor itself. For the people that know me, know how long I've been on a lake. For the people that don't know me, I was a first mate and then a charter captain for over 10 years out of Michigan City. I have about 2,000 hours on Lake Michigan. I've been a kayaker for 3 years, and this is the worst conditions that I've ever been in. And I'm going to leave this here if you guys want to watch it. If not, the video is ended. The only thing left to roll is the credits at the end if you want to watch what I do to try to navigate through some of these waves. Now, these are not as bad because I am picking up a little bit of blockage from the break wall, but it was a northeast wind instead of a due north wind, and it was flowing right between the break wall and the pier head. But again, thanks for watching. This is Craig Hickey for Into the Outdoors. Oh, and on a side note, I guess I've never talked about this. I have a radio show that I do every Thursday night from 6 to 7 o'clock Central on WIMS, which is located out of Michigan City. You can hear us live on the air on AM 1420, 95.1 FM, 106.7 FM, the TuneIn app, or you can find Into the Outdoors on Facebook, and we do a Facebook Live as we are going through the radio show, and we do a lot of talking about fishing and hunting and camping and kayaking and anything else outdoors, so tune in. So as I was finalizing the video, getting ready to upload it to YouTube, I realized I never showed what I caught during the video. So here it is at the end of the video. It was after I did all my voice editing and it messed up the timeline. So I had to put a picture of the fish at the end of the video. Things you learn about editing fishing videos.
Version of the DT, ITO DT. Doing a little experimenting today. In 2-foot waves that have freaking kicked up since I got out here.